Yo, what's up, bro?
The setup, the crew.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to episode 2 of Manhood podcast. Hopefully this one's better than the last. Let's get into it.
You can tell how you grew up, however it is.
Well, technically, me and him aren't brothers. That's my girl's brother. If we want to go into detail on how I would call him my brother now, that was a little crazy story. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Alright,
let's hear it, bro.
Come on, man.
So obviously I got with his sister at some point. I got with his sister during high school and shit. She was that graduated. She's 2 years older than me, but she graduated. I'm still in school. I'm not in school anymore, but I was at one point, obviously. It was around like coronavirus and shit. So what had happened was I was growing up. I was 17, about to hit 18, and I was still living at home. But with that shit, it's like my parents, even though I was ready to grow up and I wanted to grow up, they was kind of restricting me from doing that because they didn't want to see me grow up.
Yeah.
But it's also crazy because like with them doing that, like they kept treating me like I was a little ass kid. When I'm about to hit 18, I'm still getting punished, getting my phone taken away and all that.
Yeah.
So one day, something had happened where so what had happened was me and my family was sitting down at dinner.
Yeah.
And we was sitting there chilling, whatever, eating Five Guys, and then whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then, so what had happened was, for whatever weird ass reason, my dad goes and asks us, "What did y'all eat for breakfast?" Like what the fuck? So I sit there and I just go, I don't remember what I ate, but I told them what I ate. The kids went down the line, hey, that's what I ate. And then they like, oh, who fed JoJo, my little baby brother? And then nobody wanted to say shit. Nobody wanted.
How many
Blood relatives.
Oh, I have blood relatives is in that house. There's 4 of them. But I have 3 more. Huh?
None.
Yeah, I have 4 in that house, 2 brothers, 2 sisters. And then I have 3 others. 1 is in Florida, and then another 2 that's with my mom up in North Jersey. But the one in my parents' house with my stepmom and my biological dad, there's 4.
Yeah.
Well, there was 5, but that 5th would have been me. But what had happened was that day was so he had asked. Listen,
I know where this is going.
He had asked, well, who fed Josiah, the youngest one? Nobody wanted to say him.
Bro, he's not my brother,
But we're okay. My bad.
That's just where the story was going, bro. Listen.
Listen.
What about him? I said he's not the biological brother, bro.
Yeah.
We're not there yet, bro.
Yeah, I'm not his biological brother yet.
Yeah.
I'll get there.
He'll get there. Yeah.
I'll get there.
So it's a crazy as shit, bro. Cause like I look at my dad now, like we obviously passed this, but nobody wanted to say nothing when he had asked like who fed my youngest brother. So I stepped up and I said Amaya fed it. Well, yeah, my little sister had fed him ice cream cake for breakfast.
That's crazy.
And then with that being said, I said that and like, cause during that time, like I said, I was punished with my phone taken away. And meanwhile, I had his sister. I was with his sister, and it was a serious relationship. Like it wasn't no like little childish shit. And again, I'm trying to grow up, and you sitting there prohibiting me from growing. And then he sits there and he goes, "Oh, since nobody want to be responsible in this house, or whatever, you know what? Y'all not getting your phones back." So I just got up, I threw my Five Guys down in the trash, went downstairs, and then I started raging. Like on some bro shit, like I started raging, bro, cause like it wasn't even like that moment that pissed me off. It was like from like shit like previously from that. Yeah, building up. And then he comes down and he's like, "Yo, you better stop acting like that in my house." And I was just done. I didn't care. Like it was just like, bro, I'm trying to grow up. And then like y'all just like not letting me. Like every day is like something different. I'm getting yelled at for this, or because I'm not really around, or I'm minding my own business. I'm getting fucked over because Maya did some shit, or you know what I'm saying? Like I'm getting in trouble for something that I ain't got nothing to do with.
Yeah.
Or if like you're sitting there prioritizing schoolwork over like something that can actually help me in life, which is not fucking high school. Like the fuck, they do nothing.
Yeah.
You sit there, you got fucking. Why do I need to learn two times two for me to be able to do what we doing here right now at this table? Not, like the fuck that got to do with anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically that's all they did was base me off of like how I'm doing in school and shit, rather than like. You know what I mean? Like how I am as a person, how I am as a person or whatever. So, yeah, I guess I could sit there and say I got into a fist fight with my dad.
Man.
That's crazy.
Just started going crazy.
That's crazy.
Bro.
Was it me that opened the door for you?
I don't. That might have.
I think it was me. So he leaves. He fights his dad and he leaves, right? And he comes to my house. And I open the door and he's like, yo, bro, can you get your sister, bro? Like, bro, you need to get your sister right now. So my sister comes down and all I hear is, I just got into a fist fight with my dad. And I'm like, yo.
That's crazy, bro. That's like the craziest.
Yeah. I'm like, yo.
Like, that was a crazy ass day, bro.
It was.
But like we look at that shit now, like that shit was regular.
Yeah,
like it's not regular, obviously. But like that shit's a little funny now. It's a little funny now.
Yeah.
Cause like what we fighting our dads for?
And that was in high school?
Yeah.
So,
That's real.
I still, that was basically that's what caused me to move in with him.
Yeah. That's crazy because she was talking to my mom and she was like, he can't stay here. Nah, he can't stay here.
Who said that?
My sister.
Who said that?
She was like,
Which sister?
Nah, she was like, your girlfriend. She was like, I don't know if he can stay here. And like they didn't want you to stay for real.
Oh,
but like,
so your girl, my girl didn't even want me.
Nah, I think
He said, your girl.
Nah, I think I don't know. She didn't know what to do, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then didn't your dad come later that night? Yeah, and she was talking to him.
I guess.
I think
I don't
she
really
said
know. I don't really know much about that part. I just know
Yeah,
that
I think
was
she's
like vibing. I was vibing.
I
after
think she
that.
told me he was crying or something.
Who, him?
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Damn, I ain't gonna lie. We getting crazy personal.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Huh?
Who was crying?
His dad.
Oh.
When he came that night, he was
I
talking
mean, I
to
was
her.
good too. I was a dad.
Yeah, I fought my kid, bro.
Nah,
Yeah.
He
Facts.
pushed them out.
Nah, you said it,
Like,
man. You said
basically.
Yeah, exactly.
You shouldn't be
Pretty
fighting
much.
dads, honestly. You shouldn't be fighting.
But sorry, bro. Don't cry, bro.
Nah, I'm chilling.
There's another side.
it was crazy that day, but like I feel like it. Do I regret how I left the house? Yes.
Yeah.
But am I upset that it happened? No. Because like I could have left. It didn't have to be that ugly, but it did. Because if it didn't turn that way, then I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I'd probably still be
Yeah,
there,
that's
and I wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Right.
Canyon. She was a Canyon event.
You gotta go through hard times, bro.
Yeah.
You can't figure shit out unless you make the hard times.
Yeah, and that's what basically that long ass story getting crazy personal is basically like I just felt and I really, if they do end up watching this, learn from how shit had happened with us and don't repeat that to the rest of the kids in the house. I don't know, I was just saying
And other families too, bro.
yeah, anybody else that's going through the same situation, y'all got kids, don't because you don't want to see them grow up. Doesn't mean that they're not gonna grow up. Like you're gonna have to let that shit go.
Yeah.
Like
That
they're gonna
happens.
have to grow.
I mean, I see that in a bit of probably everybody's parents. My parents, like, I don't know. It's just simple stuff. Like, you know, you don't do something right when they ask you. It's like, oh, punishment. That's what they think. But you know, you're older now, so they can't punish you. So they figure out some way to do it, and it's just by like aggravating you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
But
because
I get because like
it's
to
so
them,
in rhythm for them.
because to them it's like I slightly understand it because like y'all living together, like you know what I mean. Like y'all gonna have to have like boundaries and shit, but like at the same time it's like, all right, we have boundaries, but I have a boundary for you. I have to respect you because you're technically a superior, but like, where's my respect? Where's my boundary? You know what I mean?
There's a fine line between that where it becomes
You're the
disrespectful,
oldest
where you
too.
gotta follow. Yeah.
You're the oldest too,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're the one
You're the
who's
head.
gonna go with the hardest time because they have to learn for you.
I know
Which
that-
it makes
I know that-
sense.
Yeah, I know that.
It makes sense. I get that, cause like it's a trial and error with me. But like I will say, they're repeating it. They're repeating, and again, like I'm not gonna. All right, let me get this straight, cause it's not like they fucked up as parents, because I feel like I grew up, I'm chilling. Like, there's a lot of people out here that grew up with some nut-ass parents. Either they were too strict, where the kids went out and rebelled, did some nut shit, or they were too laid back, and the kids still went out and did some nut shit because their parents didn't care.
Nah, you're
Where
right.
my parents were like a good middle ground, but there were points and times where they were doing too much, a little excessive. And they're still doing that now, even with my brothers and sisters that's there.
That's anybody.
You gotta
Well, I mean,
also-
I don't know to your degrry, obviously, it's fine.
Yeah.
You gotta
More
also
than anybody else. But.
think of their perspective of like, they probably, this is their first time having kids.
It's not their first time.
More or less, you're the first son,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you're the first son. This is their first time having kids. You're the oldest one. This is what my dad told me, more or less. It's like, when I would get mad and not understand something that he's trying to prove to me or teach me, and I get mad for it, you gotta also remember that he's just trying to figure out his way and navigate his way to get his point across the most respectable way he can for me, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Some parents will do it in different ways. Some of it could be a little bit more cruel. Some of it could be, nice, gentle, I guess we could say.
I feel like,
But
like I said, like my parents weren't strict or like hard asses or like just terrible. Like they weren't wrong all the time. And like I said, like I'm obviously chilling now as an adult. Like I could have been way worse, or could have been in worse situations. But I will say, like, damn, I forgot. Oh, in the sense of like, just because you are the elder, I feel like just because you're the elder doesn't always mean that you're 100% right.
Yeah.
There's always other factors that gotta come into play, like especially with if you're dealing with kids, their personalities and their emotions definitely do matter. Like you never know what the fuck is for years, and not my parents' fault. It's just like how I looked at everything in general when it came down to home life and going to school. Like a lot of the times I would say I felt like a failure, you know what I mean? And that sounds like, again, I'm not trying to make shit sound deep, but like
I think a lot of people feel that.
You know what I mean? Like I was like, when it came down to like schoolwork and like grades and shit like that, like I would sit there, I felt like I was trying. Like even though I could sit there and say like there was moments where I was like, yeah, fuck it, it is what it is. But when I actually was like, oh no, I gotta step up. Like my hardest wasn't enough for me to get anything above a D. And then when I would come home with that report card of a fucking D's and F's and maybe a C, I would get in trouble at home. So it's like, all right, well, y'all know that I sat there. Yeah, I was slacking this whole time, but when I actually sat there and tried to put in that hard ass work to get to where I needed to be, and I come home, and yeah, it should ass, but like, instead of noticing the effort that I put into it and seeing that I was actually trying, y'all seeing that I failed rather than the effort that I put in. And then that's where I kind of like now, like, I don't really give a fuck about a lot of shit. Like, I don't care about anybody else's
I got a different perspective
outlook
on that.
Well, I'll get to it in a little bit,
Yeah.
but like now, and when it comes down to like how I look at other people's perspectives on me, I don't care anymore. Because like when I did care, I didn't feel good.
You're not gonna be
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like nothing crazy towards anybody here, but whatever you say, she, anybody. Like I do what the fuck I want. I say what I say, and that's it. I say what I say. I do what I want. Again, like I'll still make sure like I'm not being a dickhead. Like I'm not gonna sit there and straight out be like, "Fuck you, bitch," to some random ass person on the street, not to their face.
Wait, where's this going though?
I know.
What I'm saying is, all right, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna wrap it up, and you get to it.
Okay.
But basically, yeah, like I guess growing up feeling like I wasn't worth shit, I kind of just learned to feel like fuck what everybody else gotta say. You know what I mean? Fuck it.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like I don't know, it's probably not legible in the camera last time, but like that, like my hat said, let that shit go, bro. You can't let that shit go, bro.
Yeah.
Like a lot of stuff is not worth keeping carrying with you. All that drag, you know what I'm saying? Because then that also brings you down. That shit gets like you can sit there and be sad and angry and shit, But like, drop it because like that takes energy, bro. You be feeling tired as fuck.
Yeah.
You be tired.
Yeah.
Like physically, like you be tired.
Makes you
Like
stressed
negative
out.
energy is like ass.
If you can't let go of the past, you're never gonna be able to fully live.
Yeah, and even that, you don't even gotta be past. Like it could be something happening now. Like you get into an argument with your girl, like
That's true too.
be
yeah.
mad
Yeah.
in the moment, but like 5 minutes from then, like it's chilling. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's over. Like shit happened. Like it's okay to be mad and snapping right there, but like when y'all actually stay quiet and just separate yourselves for a little bit, or like it doesn't even have to be in a relationship situation. Like it could be like something at work or at home, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Just sit the fuck down, breathe, and then you
But I
chill.
agree.
No, I do.
And
I
you
do
let
agree.
that
I
shit
do
go.
agree.
Like that's why I don't understand when people be
Bro,
mad as hell all the time. Like, why are you so
They
mad?
haven't learned yet, bro. Nobody's
When
literally
bro,
hit them in the face.
and then when people be stressing, like, oh, I'm stressing. Like, you just came home from work talking about you still stressing. Like, that shit happened like an hour ago. Like, relax.
Facts.
You're home now.
Yeah, a lot of
And
people.
that's why I be telling my girl, like, you're home. Like, calm down. So she
You're home. Like, calm down.
Yeah. You had a response to what I was saying, though.
My
It was about
Sure.
the grades.
it was about I'm trying to remember it because I gotta get my concept right. How your parents were hard on you, right? Like I said before, parents will do their parenting in different severities. So you could probably have it rough. I don't know. I can only say
Again,
my.
I don't think I had it crazy rough. It was
Yeah.
just like, it was like, I guess the most I
didn't
could
let it go.
say,
Yeah.
I could say that, and then I could also sit there and say, like, I felt unheard. You know what I'm
But
saying?
I'll tell you this. I think
It's
that
because they didn't get it. Because
They-
they're still in their they're
Yeah.
still in their parenting mind from when you were growing up.
Yeah.
They never
Yeah.
recovered from it.
But with that being
Exactly.
said, it's like even with experiencing what they experienced with me and how it pushed me out of the house,
Right.
they are still repeating
With the other.
with the other ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Again. Keep going. Keep
Okay.
going.
So I think that considering your parents were hard on you, I think maybe the severity of what they were doing or something could have an effect on something like that, where it could have somebody close themselves to not want to embrace anything type of thing.
What do you mean?
In the sense of, so I can only go off of what my parents did. When my parents were hard on me, it was more of an inspiration to do better than what I settled for, right? So I settled for a C, right? They didn't like that. That didn't meet their expectations, right? So I settled for a B. And eventually, just me going over and over and over again of just settling for what the higher standard is. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So more or less, I kind of evolved with my parents rather than just shutting down in one spot and just letting them try and keep parenting me, but we kind of went together rather than opposite directions. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Well, I guess it works. That works for some people, but I would
Yeah.
never say that it works for everybody because with me, I felt like a lot more with me. Like I can't grasp a lot of shit,
Yeah.
especially when it comes down to school. Like that's why I don't go to school now. Like I just work, go home. Because
Yeah.
I knew if I was here, that should be coming back, and I can't do that.
Mm.
But with me, what you said, it was more like their expectation. And hey, if they end up watching this and they got a feedback from me, cool. But
Comment.
for me, how I viewed it was more their expectation was the only thing that mattered,
Mhm.
rather than okay, we saw that he tried. I'd like him to try harder, and maybe hopefully you don't slip up next time. Cool. Like I get it, that's what y'all was looking for, but at the end of the day, like I felt more it was like my efforts didn't matter.
Mhm.
That was the issue. I felt like my efforts didn't matter. And then on top of that, all of that is like, I don't know. That's it. Yeah. Like I just felt like my efforts didn't matter. I felt like I was struggling and shit with a lot. And there were certain things I felt like I couldn't be comfortable with telling them when it came down to something personal. And it was a weird ass time in my life because I hated school because it made me feel like I was a fucking failure.
Mm.
But I enjoyed being at school more
Yeah.
rather than
people
being
that-
at
It's the
home.
experience. It's the experience.
Yeah.
It's the social and everything about it, bro. Yeah. I used to love school for that
'Cause-
reason.
Yeah. Well, back at school, I felt like I was able to relate to a lot of people on like personal levels and shit. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even though I don't know, it's crazy as shit because like you don't. It's like I don't like to surround myself with negativity because that shit also drags you down. Because are you trying to stay afloat and everybody else is being sad and depressed and they're pulling you fucking down, and it's just like, bro, back the fuck up. But for some reason, when I went to school, like I felt at home because I had people to express myself to that understood what I was saying. And even though they were like, I wasn't looking for advice and shit. I just had to have people to listen, and they as well. And then when I came home, it was just like, fuck, I'm here now. You know what I mean? Like that was my.
You know, that's
I
not
don't
so
know how to
common.
explain
I've
it.
kind of had an opposite experience.
Yeah.
Like, I hated going to high school.
Really?
Everybody, they weren't my friends. I knew that. I figured that out like junior year. I was like ready to go. I just wanted to transfer out of the school.
Yeah.
And then my parents were like, no, that's not happening. But I'm glad I stayed because I had my religion class, which taught me a lot. And I'm very thankful for it. But when I got to college, I was ready. I was like, this is the new me. I already knew I was way better than whatever I was in high school. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go be myself. I was like, not to brag, like I'm not saying I was a great person, but I was like, I want to say everybody loved me because I just made people laugh. You know, I was like being exciting for other people, giving other people a good experience. You know, like in high school I was not that. I didn't hang out with them people. They didn't invite me to stuff. Like I didn't really care.
They weren't your crew.
Huh?
They weren't your crew.
No, not really. I have a couple of friends from high school that I could trust. You know?
Yeah.
They're still cool. I'm still close with them, but the rest of them, no, not at all. And I kind of just wanted to get out of there. But like when I came home, I had a little bit of your experience too, but I was also like, I feel from the way you explained it a little better in your situation.
Yeah.
But I still had that same experience where like, it's not going to change, right? But it's still, I don't know what felt better, like being home or at school. Because at school, I was just tired of it. You know what I mean?
So you had the school was kind of, you didn't want to be there, and then home was just more of like a, I don't really want to be here.
Was it like?
No, it wasn't like I was being. That sounds depressing.
No, that's what it sounds like.
No, I was fine at home.
Yeah.
But like, that's all I did. I didn't go out and hang out with people and stuff like that.
Homebody?
He's like,
That's
so-
crazy.
Junior year, I started hanging out with people outside of school.
With
like you.
Yeah.
I hung out with you like sophomore year a lot though.
A couple times.
Freshman
Of
year
course,
we
tracks
had-
and everything like that, we would go out. So.
With me, I felt like when every time I had the chance to get out the house, I took it. Like if my boys hit me
same.
up,
No,
yo,
I'm like never
we gotta
else.
do this. And it was times we had no fucking plans, like no plans, and they were like, yo, let's just meet up. All right, we get up,
Fire.
we get together.
Yeah.
Fucking, it'd be till moments where we just walk. I don't like we used to walk crazy, bro.
Used to ride my bike.
I remember one time I got with a group of my boys, and we, for whatever weird ass reason, there was no goal. We walked
You just
to
met up. That was it.
yeah, and we walked to Kramer Hill, Vanita Park.
Yeah.
My hood, bro.
Then we walked down to we walked back through Pennsauken where I was at the time,
Yeah.
and went to fucking Cherry Hill Walmart.
You
For-
walked
Y'all just
all
breathe,
that?
y'all just
Wait,
walk.
That day, yeah. For that day, it was me and a couple of the
Yo,
homies
that's crazy.
to do that
bro.
for no reason.
That's crazy. That's
For no
hard.
reason.
That's hard.
Yeah, for
That's
no
fun.
thank you, bro. But for no reason, we just did it. But that was like my escape. Like it'd be like a weekend. I don't have school, so I'd be stuck at home getting yelled at or some shit, and I'm just sitting there vibing, minding my own business. And then all right, well now I gotta get out the house. Yo, Nick or yo Parker or whoever the fuck. Yo, let's go out. All right, bet. What are we doing? I don't know. Let's just do shit.
Yeah.
And we would just walk our ass off, just yapping. That's all we did.
I think the other thing is like, whoever your kid, you have to know their personality. Like, cause my personality is definitely different than yours. Because if they did that to me, like I would just deal with it. I just, if I got to the point of fist fighting with dad, then that would have been different. Then I know.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it was built up of years though.
Right.
It wasn't like, oh, within this punishment, I'm a little bitch, I'm gonna start crying about it. No, like, it was built up throughout that entire high school
Yeah.
experience. Like, might have even been like from like middle school too, because like that's when I feel like middle school is definitely when I started flopping with the school and shit. But to them, they didn't see that I wasn't grasping it no matter what I did. To them, they saw, how I saw that they saw it was more of like, you're not trying. And I was putting in my best. And they might have not saw that I was putting in my best. And they might still now say, oh, you could have did better if they wanted to, I don't know. But I felt like I was putting in my best, and then I would come home, school would tell me, fuck you, no you're not. And I'd come home getting told, well, school said you're not, so fuck you, no, you're not. That's how I felt. You know what I mean?
I
And
understand.
then, like I said, like the homies was the escape.
Yeah.
And then I would go around just bullshitting. I would like walk for hours, just not doing shit, just talking, just yapping, telling, oh, I was depressed because my parents punished me too. Oh, that's crazy, bro. And they had girl problems that they was going through. Me too. Like, I ain't gonna lie, yeah, me and her are nice now, but back then I
remember, bro. I was there.
She was depressing, bro. Your sister was not nice.
I know.
I don't know why we still pursued each other, but like she was not nice, bro.
Yo, it was
And
meant
I
to be.
feel like, my fault.
No, you
I
can.
feel like if you didn't get into that fist fight with your dad, bro, I don't think y'all would have gotten far like y'all did now.
I'm saying,
So,
Nah,
that-
Like I said, you
right
have
there,
to go
that's
through
what
a
I'm
hard
saying.
time
Like,
to
yes.
see.
it sucks ass that how I left that house. I'm not mad that I left the house because there's a lot of shit that I have achieved since I've been out that I would not have done if I was still there. I would not have gotten a job.
Right.
I probably would have, but it would have been late as hell. I have an apartment now, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like it took some struggle to get there, but I got one. Went to fucking Florida like 3 times.
Right.
I've never traveled outside of the state unless it was Philly or New York when I was living at home.
Like,
You know what I
Puerto Rico
mean?
2 times,
Puerto Rico,
That's
even
dope.
though that wasn't
That's
in
cool.
for any good conditions, but
Yeah, nah.
you know, all that
Nah,
shit.
yeah.
People like dying and shit, so we had to
Yeah.
fucking.
Funeral. Gotta
Yeah.
fly out.
Yeah, nah, wasn't one
I know,
of
it's
them
like-
wasn't one of them nobody died? Like it was just all of us.
No, when we went to Puerto
Remember you
Rico
had,
all the
remember you had
time.
online school?
That was when your dad,
For real?
when your dad was
Nah, I don't
gone,
think
bro.
so.
Yes, it was.
I don't
That was
remember.
my
It's
first.
been
That
so
was,
long ago,
bro. That was my
Oh,
first
man.
time to Puerto Rico, bro.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's part of my story too.
Yeah.
That's my character development.
Nah, facts.
Shit, you wanna open up your heart, bro? You wanna
I'm
open
gonna
up your
talk
heart?
about it, bro. Look,
All right. Well, I've had the spotlight for like fucking 3 hours now. Like, who's gonna go to
I'm
next?
chilling. I think we did good.
Alright, I'll tell you the one.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Alright, so I feel like I'm complete opposite of Pedro. Not complete, but
In a way.
maybe. Because I went to St. Charles, you guys both went there.
Yeah. I remember.
Grew up there though. Like I only went to pre-K 3 outside of there. Pre-K 4 all the way up to 8th grade I went there.
Yeah.
But I felt sheltered. So like I didn't like I'm sure you found out
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
say like
I could, yeah.
vaping. Right?
Yeah.
I didn't know what that thing was until I got to high school. Or like I knew what cigarettes were, but I didn't know kids my age were doing them. Or like even having sex. I didn't know people were doing it at my age. You know, like I was like, my dad would always tell me. I wrote it down in like in a writing project once. I got like 100 on it. I like wrote my life story on this writing project, and she must have loved it. But where was I?
Talking about
Yeah. My dad told me that there's like people who are not better off in the world than where I am. Like I grew up in a suburban home. Like he's always telling me there's
People doing worse than you.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
know
I
what you
didn't
mean.
I didn't get
know what
it.
you mean.
I didn't get like I was just like, oh okay, I understand. There's people doing not
You
as
never
good
got
as
to see it?
no, like I didn't know. Like I knew there was people in America that were like,
Struggling.
yeah, because there's homeless people, you know. So
Yeah.
I like understood that. But like now when I got to college, I mean, I definitely figured it out in high school. But I got to college, I did like classes about documentaries on that sort of stuff, and I understood like these people over here don't eat for days and days and days and days.
Yeah.
starve, they live, they try to fight for their whole entire life. Like I really didn't see what that was like. I understood that it happened. I just never saw what it was like. But now watching documentaries, I get it.
Yeah.
So like again, back to the sheltering, like I was kind of just straightforward about childhood. You know, like if I throw a hissy fit, I get thrown a punishment or something like that. You know what I mean? But and then my dad would tell me that every time. He's like, "There's people who have way better than you. Just be grateful that you have something to play with. Like I'll be playing with my Legos, or I'll be playing with Hot Wheels. You know."
Yeah.
And then again, I got to high school, but I really started to find myself in high school because, like, a lot of people don't find themselves till college. I feel like I benefited from high school.
Gotcha.
Just restarted. Did you start it?
I appreciate it.
I feel like I benefited from high school because of the religion class. Like, first year, it was kind of like, first year, religion class was kind of like, okay, I learned more. Like, I learned religion at St. Charles, but I didn't know the importance of it.
Yeah.
And then I really started to figure God out, like, junior year. I started to get really close with God, and then I felt like I had so more whys than the people I was around. That's why I wanted to get out of there, because I didn't want to deal with those people anymore. And the kids that went to the high school, I'm not going to say it because I don't want people to.
I can bleep out their names, bro, if you want.
No,
Alright.
the neighboring high school, like whatever, people are going to find me. They're going to know, but just for now.
Yeah.
Yo, what's that? I know him.
Like all those kids, I knew they were cool. I was cool with, even though like I definitely probably wouldn't have if I went to high school at first. I knew I was cool with them now because remember Nate?
Yeah.
Yeah, like him. He went there and he kind of introduced me to a lot of them.
You knew a few people there. Right?
Yeah, but I also knew people from growing up there too. But it was really the grade below. So your grade, but
Yeah.
my grade, I didn't, because I grew up
You
with
didn't
kids.
mess with them.
Nah, they were like rude to that's the other thing, shelter. So like when I was growing up, the kids on the street, I mean, I know them all now, they're all cool. I'm cool with them now.
Yeah.
I've seen them since, but those kids were all assholes to me, bro. Like they'd be like, yo, come outside. They'd all sit up on the block, right?
Yeah.
And then at the end of the block, and I'd ride my bike down, I'll bring like a couple Nerf guns to play, and then they're all gone. They just run, like, and then they would just do all types of stuff like that.
Honestly, bro, the main thing that has motivated me was like kind of almost myself. Like one thing I've noticed about myself is like growing up with like ADHD. It's not a bad thing. It's not like, oh, I have ADHD. Like I've kind of just been using that as just a tool, and it's helped me with my success. Like literally, I found out that the more I was able to do, the more and more I did, the more successful I became. Like when I didn't really do a lot, like in high school and like middle school, like I would have like mediocre grades, like D's and B's and things like that. But when I started like when I started like piling up, not like I mean B's are good, but I don't know. The more and more I started piling on my plate, what?
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is terrible, bro. This is terrible.
No, keep going. This happened to you last episode too.
I know, bro, and no one was listening to me. And you put it in the short too. I was like, all right, is anybody listening to me? Like, keep going, bro.
Go.
Bro, low key, y'all are making me lose my train of thought. I can't even remember what I was just saying.
You were saying
you said A's and B's.
You said D's are good.
Or D's and B's.
These are good.
You said B's are good.
Bro,
You said B's.
You were talking about your grades.
you were saying that how, because like I was gonna actually go off of what you said afterwards because I really agree with what you just said.
All I'm saying, like
it could, your ADHD could be a gift and a curse because it makes you like lose focus on shit that don't really seem relevant to you, and then to shit that like really makes seems important is what you focus on.
Because
I would be playing Minecraft, bro, instead of doing my freaking work.
I know, yeah. Well, people like, I was about to say, people procrastinate and people like don't get to what they got to do. But when you have a lot of stuff on your plate, you have no other option but to do that work and do it correctly and get it done out of the way. You know what I mean? That's when I started getting straight A's and like things like that. Is literally, I just made the most of the opportunities around me, got involved in school, outside of school, started making new friends, hanging out with other people. And I realized like I had to take care of my responsibilities first. I always had that mentality, but because I had free time, I would procrastinate. That's what leads to procrastination.
When in your life? Like high school or?
The brim of like ending of high school. That's what I realized.
College.
Yeah, because I started seriously taking things seriously, and just having things to do back to back, for me, I just used that responsibility first as a tool to get done what I need to get done in efficiency, and I was able to live the happy life that I wanted to as well. And that's when I built the flow. And I'm still in that flow right now, and that's how I got my success right now.
Yeah, I feel the same way because when I came to college for the first time, the second semester, I failed a class, and it's one of my important. I didn't fail it. I don't like to say I failed because I didn't fail.
Yeah.
I did the work. I got a C minus and needed a C to pass, and I didn't have that obviously. So that set me back. I didn't really care at first. I was just angry, and then I went in the summer and I thought about it for a little bit, and I was like, okay, now I need to. I realized what I'm doing. Like it's architecture, right? That's my major. So I'm like, do I want to do this? I had to think about it. Do I want to switch my major? Well, I was trying to figure it out the whole summer. But I was like, either way, no matter what I do, I can't let this happen again because I can't become a failure.
Yeah.
And that's changed my entire perspective. That's how I started getting motivated. Because that summer, I tell this to everybody. That same summer, I used to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day. Literally every day in the summer. Maybe a couple of days where I didn't because I had friends over or something.
Yeah.
5 o'clock, read the Bible, make a protein shake, go to the gym. Same thing every day. I repeat that. And then I do my homework when I come back. Before 12 o'clock, read the Bible again. 12 o'clock hits, I got 3 hours before I go to work. And that was my schedule, and I loved it, bro. And I'm just chasing that again because it's so hard, like you said, with the ADHD, because that's what I have.
Yeah.
I was diagnosed with ADD, but I'm pretty sure it's ADHD.
They go,
It's almost the same.
Because I don't think they even do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They don't call it ADD anymore. But I have that same struggle.
Mm-hmm.
I was diagnosed. They called my shit inactive ADHD. What the fuck?
Like, comes and goes?
I don't know.
Tell me
That's what I was
this.
told. It's inactive ADHD.
Tell me this. In the beginning, meaning like either middle school or early high school, wasn't it like, or wasn't it really, really challenging to deal with because like it impacted your life? Yeah, high school or grade school too.
Grade school, I didn't notice it, but that's because I'm a kid and kind of sheltered.
Yeah.
But my parents did, and my dad dealt with it with his life.
Yeah.
His mom went through hell. She always tells me, she's like, not like literally hell, but like she just didn't know how to control him, but she was able to do it.
Yeah.
So my dad knew this about me, so I'm sure he probably told my mom before even having kids that this is what's going to happen. But I don't know. That's what I tell her.
Well, no, yeah.
If I had kids, that's how it would be.
The reason I'm asking is because like I know like a mature brain with ADHD functions like literally in great positive ways, but a premature brain, like when you're still a kid, that shit can be so annoying to deal with.
The parenting.
Yeah.
Because even if they don't figure it out from the parenting, that parenting will make them realize later when they get hit with real life.
Yeah, yeah.
Like me, I got hit with real life. I almost failed.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
To go back on your question and everything you said though, when it comes down to like the ADHD, I do sit there. I feel like you said, as like growing up in school, like that shit felt more of like a curse than it did anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Because like at that moment, school was all we had.
What you thinking?
Yo, you good, bro?
That's the struggles of having a beard, bro.
Brush it.
Yeah. Wait a minute. So anyway,
dude, you're shaking. Like, oh my God.
Was I shaking?
Yeah, you were, bro. You were like, I thought you hurt yourself. That's why you're like.
Nah, but it's like you said, like in the beginning of like a certain point in your life is when it felt ass. Like is when it felt ass. It felt, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like for me, it was middle school. Like I felt like elementary school was chilling. It was still ass because it was fucking school, but like it was like.
What about socially though? Like socially.
Socially, I was vibing.
Bro, it impacted me.
Well, he left.
I went to 3 different middle schools because of my ADHD.
Phenomenal.
It was terrible. It was the worst thing in my whole life.
My middle school, 2019 was my year, bro.
So I'm gonna say
where
this.
it peaked, and that was it.
I'm gonna say this.
Fortnite?
Yep.
Up to
Nah, not for that. No.
All my Yo,
I'm sorry, my bad, bro. My
fuck
bad.
out of here.
Track and field, I was kicking, bro.
So
There you go.
when it came down to for me in school, right, it was from kindergarten up till like 3rd grade. Shit was just straight ass.
Yeah,
But that wasn't
That's
an
such a young-
ADHD.
Well, hang on.
That's such a young
You said
age.
kindergarten?
Yeah,
Yeah.
kindergarten's really young.
Ooh, kindergarten, the 1st grade, everything was sunshine and rainbows, my boy. That was perfect.
So for me,
yeah, come over here coloring the deer wrong, and they're like, it's okay, you still get an A.
Hey,
I'm like,
nap
all right. Well,
time.
this was more of a personal thing. Like it wasn't like
Yeah.
my parents, the teachers, none of that. It was more of a personal thing because like I
Do
got.
you think you matured fast?
What do you mean?
Like you grew up, you're internally you grew up faster than the people around you,
Like wisdom and
wisdom and stuff. Do you think you matured fast?
No, I feel like I'm that now. As a kid, I feel like I was on kid level, but now I
Yeah.
feel like I look at certain people around me. I'm like, why are you fucking doing this?
Yeah.
And like, it's not to sit there and say like it's not okay to be childish or like
Yeah.
certain things that's like immature, but
reach out to them.
it's just like I was telling you hours ago. There's a difference between being a child in heart and being a fucking well, I'd say a man child, but you know there's women too, but you know what I'm saying, but a man child.
Yeah.
A child at heart, you can still be mature, still function like a normal ass adult, and like toys
And
and
love life.
Yeah.
love life and watch cartoons still. And then a man child is just you're just doing fuck shit for no reason.
Yeah.
Like you're just like
you never
fucking-
left the kid behind.
Yeah.
But
Like it's a
you still
child.
need the kid in you because everybody's gonna have it no matter how old you
Yeah.
are. Like an old man who's 90 and he's a billionaire, like he's still got that kid in him if he's having a car collection of 90 cars that are
Yeah.
$5 million each. You know what I mean?
Your level of being a kid depends, or it changes over time when you get older. You start getting, I
There's
got,
people
I got
who
adult
don't-
money type John. You know what I mean?
But to circle
whatever
back
you
with what you was asking though, like as a kid, like I felt like a kid. At this point, I still feel like a kid. I just feel more on the mature side because like I do look at people. I do look at people crazy. Like sometimes they just be doing fuck shit. Like for example, people
Yeah.
at work. Like why are you? And when it comes down to employees and customers, like why the fuck are you doing this stupid shit? Like you know what I'm saying? It's like anything.
Yeah.
But to sit there and go back to what you were saying was about how it felt like a gift and a curse. Is just,
Yeah.
I feel more it feels like a gift now, because like it helps me focus on shit. It helps me focus on like shit that's actually important,
Yeah.
rather than like shit that's like not gonna help, that's not gonna push me forward. Like you know what I'm saying? Like if it's something like it's like, all right, well this is not gonna move me to the next level. So why do I gotta focus on this? Like I'll find some route or path to get around me doing that extra step if I don't need to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But with school, that wasn't it. You had to finish school.
Yeah.
You know
were
what I
short-
mean?
like there's shortcuts that you can take in school, which are like pretty much
Yeah.
no play to put it cheating. Yeah, cheating. But like outside of that, that's pretty much it. That and maybe creating better study habits, but
Tutors.
unfortunately, I was always
Yeah,
the
but
one
when,
that
IEPs,
was
but when it
ISPs.
came
I couldn't.
when it came down to
Yeah,
my
I need one-on-one.
ADHD, like
Yeah,
my shit just like didn't let me do it.
Yeah.
Do you think you
Like when I
like?
said I couldn't grasp school, like I couldn't grasp it.
Bro,
You think you think it was an interesting where you like you weren't interested, you just turned off?
I think that that's what I'm saying.
It could be
I know-
that,
I know what
or
that
it
is,
could
yeah.
be ADHD, or
Because it's
Maybe
like
just
like I
like-
said, like if my brain doesn't see it as like a necessity, I'm
Yeah.
not going to want it. Or like if, or again, like an
That's-
interest, because like
Yeah.
watching a cartoon isn't a necessity, but I
Yeah.
pay attention and I understand it.
Because it
'Cause it's an
manipulates your mind. It's constant manipulation of your mind. That's why part of the reason my parents always told me I was going to be an architect, even as a kid. Did I like know what it was? Not really. But like
design buildings, bro.
picked it up, bro. Like, it's just drawing. I hated it at first.
You
But it's-
actually want to be an architect?
That's what I'm studying.
Oh
I'm-
shit, that's dope.
Like drawing, it's just constant work.
Ted Mosby, architect.
It's just constant brain stimulation. That's also why I have podcasts, I have TikTok, I have whatever else is going on. I
Yeah.
can't think of right now, but I always got something going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's dope.
some
I'm always
creative
playing.
shit.
I'm
I've
always
always,
busy.
I feel like I've always, and it seems like you too. Like
Yeah,
I guess the ADHD motherfuckers at
I'm
this
always,
table
yeah,
are
nah,
creative.
me and
ones.
you always are busy, and it gets annoying because then people, you know,
People
get
don't
mad at
understand.
you
People
for
don't
not being able
understand.
to hang out with you. But yeah, you're doing stuff.
Bro, I
Like,
tell
we're doing stuff.
I tell
Yes.
people, I tell her, like
Yeah,
I don't want to be. I want to want to be 30 and be set.
That's what I'm
That's a
saying.
good-
I don't want to be
that's
retired. I still want to work.
Yeah, I want to be 30, but I want to
Yeah,
accomplish
that's
every
fine.
dream that I want. Yeah, like by
Oh, that's facts.
by
That's
30.
facts.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm trying to have a
You get
C8
set
Corvette in
ready.
the driveway by 30.
Or be able, like, I know that when I looked back before I met her, I was like, my life is set, not set into where my money is,
No.
but set into I know where it's going. I know where I want to be. I know what I want in life. The only thing I need is that one person, and now I feel like I have that.
And you're
But-
chill, bro. Yeah.
I was like, now the next goal is I want to set my life, money, financially, physically, in the enjoyments of life that I want to pursue by 30,
How old are you again?
20.
You're 20 right now? Okay. That's cool. I mean, honestly, I agree with that. Like, that's honestly how I think about it too. I want to be able to, like, scoop up one of y'all in a C8 Corvette by the time I'm
because
29
I don't
or
wanna
like
have
28. Like,
A
I don't
super
want to.
nice house and
Right.
a super nice car by the time I'm 50. Like, I
Yeah,
can't
it doesn't
use
make
it.
sense. Yeah,
can't use
exactly. I'm too old. I'm too, like,
What you
no.
said was, what you
I
said
want to
was
enjoy
right.
that.
You want to be set by 30. See, being set by, you see, setting goals
That's why
like
we
that
work hard
is
down.
what's great about it. Because most people,
Yes,
do-
bro, go
they-
party.
Yeah.
yeah, you don't have. Well, I want to experience things, but
It's okay.
what's it called? I think
Don't-
setting goals for like yourself like that. I think a lot of people should start doing that because most people just they set goals far because they think they have the time to do it, but you realistically don't. Because if you want to enjoy something at an old age, what's the point of even?
Yeah.
I want to stay home at that point. I don't feel like going out.
And make a plan. People,
My young ass
sometimes,
don't
we don't have
You're young
plans.
now,
Plans,
might as well
bro.
keep it going. You know, just you know.
For that, I started, like, I put the Instagram down, I put all my social media down. Not really. Instagram I haven't touched. I don't scroll. But I go on TikTok because I have to manage my TikTok.
Yeah.
And then Snapchat, I just go to reply to people because I don't have their phone numbers.
Mm.
But I don't, like, use it. I don't go on, like, scrolling stuff. But
Yeah.
and now I'm realizing I've gotten away from all that stuff before. Like that time of the summer that I told you.
Yeah.
That, again, I'm trying to chase that back. I'm trying to get back to that point of my life. And
Oh, I know.
yeah, like it's just no procrastination. It's
Yeah.
still that's like I'm finding other things to procrastinate with, but that's the worst one.
Yeah.
You know, like if I get in that habit, it doesn't go away.
So I got a good question for you guys. What would be one thing that you do right now that you think you shouldn't be doing? It's prohibiting you from actually growing. What would you say is one thing?
Kid, it's gonna sound crazy as hell because it is a necessity.
What's up?
Working.
Work at the job?
I think
It's a job you have. Or,
it takes up so much of the time that we well, I don't know about we, but me, because you guys got shit that you do outside of work. I work like 3 days. I work the entire week. But it takes up a lot of the time that if I wanted to sit there and get with people to make shit happen, I can't because I'm fucking around doing some other shit. Which yes, I need it because I need that money.
Yep.
But like that's what's getting in the way of.
Could you call that procrastination though? Because that's a necessity. You're doing something
But-
that you need to stay at the float type thing, right?
Well,
It's
yeah,
not-
because
yeah.
also you gotta think about it this way. Because
Yeah.
when I do have the time off, I just want that time off.
I got you.
So I'm working that entire week and putting in those hours that entire week. That when I have that moment to sit the fuck down, I just want to sit the fuck down.
yeah,
And that's the procrastination part.
that's okay.
Like I'm
Honestly,
wasting
no,
time and
resting is
doing
you
different.
need rest.
Resting is different from
Yeah.
procrastination because I've been there on
But-
those days where you're doing stuff productive the entire day, and it's to the point where you feel like your body's about to fall apart.
Yeah,
You're not even
But
getting
the thing
adequate
is, I didn't want to do this today. If it wasn't for like y'all just saying fuck it, let's just do it. I didn't want to do this today.
Me neither.
And that's the part of the
But
procrastination.
that's also the discipline.
Yeah,
Because
Discipline, yeah.
I tell myself, no days off, never satisfied. Now there's points in there that you can be satisfied, but when it comes to chasing what you want and being happy, you can't be satisfied because, like, it's a podcast, bro. We don't have to do much. We don't have to do physical, hard labor work to get here. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm okay with it. Same with my dancing on TikTok.
No, I'm playing.
Well,
Because
but it's not. It's not.
it's not. It's not even
laying
lifting.
steel and
Yeah.
standing on beams
It is super easy.
on
yeah.
skyscrapers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What,
Like,
what do you
Little
think,
headache here and there, but
what
that's
would,
it.
What would be your one thing that you think you could do better right now? What is procrastinating for you right now?
I don't know. Because A little bit of gaming, but that's not too bad.
That's not too bad. A little bit of gaming here.
It's not that hard.
What is
But
it?
it's not the gaming. Like I
Oh,
play
that's
Fortnite.
it.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not. No, that's not it. But
No.
like
That's not too
I
bad.
spend a little more money than I want to, just out of fun.
Okay.
Out of fun.
I don't even have
But
it.
I'm pretty good with my spending. Just recently. No.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm locked in with my craft, acting and singing and everything like that. I'm locked in with school. Everything is locked in except for one thing: my physical shape, my physical body. Like, I could use to be. You know, I could use the time in the gym a little bit more
Chilling
frequent.
though.
You know,
Compared
This is
to
why
what
you
I got
have.
going
What time
on.
do you have practice?
I have practice 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
What time's the gym over here?
There's, I think like 6 a.m.
Get it done.
I probably could.
I go. What time do we get up?
Early,
8.
But I would have to do it after though, because I do need all the energy that I can get. Because believe it or not, that what I'm doing in 97 is actually almost like going, like not lifting weights, but cardio wise, it's the gym and more.
But that's why you have to eat the right food,
Yeah,
right nutrition.
I need the right fuel.
Right now, I feel like
getting in shape.
I'm getting-
probably another.
You can feel
like
yourself.
I might
getting
look
bigger.
big. I don't on camera.
Nah,
or
you
whatever,
legit.
I know what you mean.
But I have fat. Like I used to be lean, jacked. Like you could see everything. You could see what muscle striations. And that's again that same summer. I'm trying to get back to that person.
I'm trying to get to that. I have the leanness figured out, but I need to get the size figured out.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just
but the
eat right.
leanness is chilling though.
What about you, Eddie?
Bro, you're younger than me. Your metabolism's way faster, right?
Yeah.
What you got?
Probably the same thing, like with the weight and stuff, because
That's one thing you're procrastinating.
eat horrible.
You have to learn to love it.
I will say,
Yeah,
I
but
will
what
say,
the
You have to teach yourself.
on a
Just
personal
sort of-
level, bro,
yeah.
you the craziest procrastinator.
I know, I definitely
Like-
procrastinating, bro.
Bro, you
Yeah.
heavy with
What do you think you could do better to stop procrastinating? What do you think you can help?
You just gotta cut it off, dude. Like
Cold
people
turkey.
trying to weigh it down. No, if you tell yourself you're gonna cut it off, you might fall back into it a little bit. But you have to keep telling yourself, no, I'm cutting it off. I'm cutting it off. I'm cutting it off.
Let me ask you this, because I know I am. Are you the type of person that's like, I'll do it tomorrow type thing?
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah?
bro. Always.
See, here's the one thing that I've learned. With no sense of urgency, you won't get anything done. Right?
That's facts.
What's it called?
Look at you.
What's the name? But like, I mean, if you don't have an urgency on what you're trying to do, so I gotta get this homework done. Oh, but it's due next week. Just do it now. Do it now. Do it tomorrow. Do it like within a time gap so you can get it done ASAP.
Yeah, that's true.
You won't have anything to
I
do
try
after.
to get into that mindset, and it's just like,
You
as
have
soon as
to.
I'm into it,
Yeah.
fall right back out.
I'm telling you,
Here's
bro,
what you do, bro.
I'm doing
You have
good
to
now. I should
keep
treat
talking
myself.
yourself
You know what I'm
into it.
saying? Like, that's my mindset. What you said?
You have to keep talking yourself into it.
Yeah.
Discipline. Like motivation doesn't go as far as discipline.
You listen to music.
Yeah, that's true.
You listen to music. Oh wait, you don't go to school now.
What does that have to do with the music?
I was gonna talk about like homework and stuff.
I do it too.
Oh well, shoot. What's it called? Then do you think
No,
you're the
high
type? My bad, bro. I keep
Yeah.
thinking you're like not in college yet, which you aren't. Whatever. What's the name?
I'm still
Whatever.
Just
I'm
talk.
still young.
I am. Well, yeah, but I mean, do you put homework off? Sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
That was
Wait,
just
you
slide. I
got-
didn't know what to say. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be slacking.
You be slacking?
Yeah, for real. Especially this year.
How many assignments do you think you'd be dealing with?
Well,
Like,
I'm,
in a
I'm
day.
a senior, so it's like, it's not too crazy
It's
now.
not too crazy.
It's not too crazy now.
If
but
you
it's-
think it's not too crazy, there shouldn't be any reason why you can't do it,
That's true.
right?
Yeah.
You think it's easy.
Sometimes, bro, you just need that kick in the butt. Like,
You gotta tell
Nah,
you gotta
like-
kick yourself in the butt. You gotta tell yourself that you need to get on it.
It's just high school, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still in high school too. Like, y'all all
Yeah.
out. Y'all know what it is.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
He
I remember
definitely
high
knows
school.
what
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
a different. It's a whole.
I remember high
exactly what
school,
it feels
bro.
like.
Yeah,
It's a
it
whole
does.
feeling.
It does feel
Yeah,
different.
it's
A
like-
lot.
it's like-
yeah.
Cause like you don't like when you're in high school, you don't really see it that important. It's just like I gotta
Yeah.
get this over with. It's mandatory. They just threw me in here. I have to.
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah,
That's what I was
but-
saying.
but-
That's what I was
but
saying
literally,
earlier.
Yo,
sometimes
bro.
you gotta sit back, and you can do this right now because look where you are right now
Mhm.
in high school.
Yo,
That's
who the
sick.
fuck else is doing this?
That's sick. That's
That
sick.
is- That is sick.
Ain't
That's
nobody
actually
else.
dope.
And I put nobody else.
That's what I'm saying.
doing
Cause I feel like if I go to college, that was my choice. Now I'm gonna do everything I can to.
And you're
finish
gonna
this.
feel
You know what I'm
as
saying?
you're gonna
Yeah.
feel that it's way more your choice when you pick your courses, your major, and everything.
You know, another thing to the like that does the procrastination, is when I want to do something and I actually get it done, I feel like I put so much time and effort into it, and it just be like that is like draining.
Yeah.
And I don't like the draining feeling. I like when I get the shit done, but like I don't like the after feeling of like fuck. My energy is gone.
Time management, bro.
Time management, prayer for me. I mean, I think it should be for everybody. Nutrition.
Yeah, low key. Time in, sleep, bro.
Nutrition is a big one.
Oh,
Sleep is huge, bro.
Yo, I'm not that sleeper, bro.
I can tell you,
Bro,
I can tell you.
Sleeping better on 7 hours than I do on 8.
Yo, listen to this, bro. I can tell you right now, like sleep. I know how important sleep is. I've learned the importance of sleep in acting because, like, and I know you. If you want to actually get into that like industry, your body literally is your instrument, and I've learned the importance of sleep. It is so crucial for that, and once I got that healthy schedule down, you'll notice a change. So like if you burn out easily and things like that, like mentally burn out, he's right. Time management and sleep and nutrition and like
The other thing is
Go ahead, bro.
it's like a little side note, but right now, because I told you I'm trying to like get rid of the little fat that I add to myself. The other part of where I wanted to be, back to that person I didn't need any carbs. Like I stayed away from carbs. Now you need carbs for energy, but how much do you really need? Because I had so much energy. No problem. I worked a waiting job. I'm running back and forth all night. Went to the gym in the morning, rode my bike all day for those 3 hours before work, and I was fine.
Yeah. I see your point. You need sleep
But the sleep is not an issue for me though. Like I could go to sleep. I could have like 5 hours, maybe less than that,
and you'll be chilling.
and I'll be like
You might be
regular
conditioned
as
to that.
fuck to the rest of the day. I'm chilling.
You might be conditioned to that. Some people,
But if you
keep
do more throughout your day, then you're gonna need more.
True that. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
I've had it to where I've and I always remember this time specifically because I myself looked at it as crazy. It was at one point where I damn near broke night. I went to bed at 5 a.m. in the morning and I still woke up at 8 a.m. in the morning and I was chill all day. Regular.
Yo, not gonna lie, 2 or 3 hours of sleep. I can tell you why. It's from this cycle called the REM cycle thingy. Basically, you'll feel like you had 8 hours of sleep if you have around anywhere from 2 and max 4. Anything past 4, you're gonna be so tired. But basically, your mind literally thinks that you took a nap, and it literally breaks your REM cycle, and you feel so well rested because you took a nap.
Wait, say that type of nap.
Basically, there's the cycle called the REM cycle, and it's how your brain differentiates. Like sometimes if you lay your head down for like 30 minutes and then you fall asleep and then you wake up, you're like, I feel a little bit better. That's because like it's almost like your body trying to give you a little boost, but it's not doing the full rest that it needs. But when you go to sleep for anywhere from 6 to 9 hours, that's the full REM cycle. Your body completely shuts down. You stop burning carbs in your sleep, and you're still breathing, and your heart's going.
Yeah.
But that's full rest. That's why.
I used to hate the idea of taking naps because I felt like it was.
I can't take naps. I never take naps.
I can't take naps.
I don't either.
I don't know how people go to sleep midday. Like it's just not. It's not dark outside.
It's like your day is wasted.
It's just not dark outside.
Necessarily take a nap is if I didn't get enough sleep 2 days before.
Only time I take a nap is if that shit was by accident.
Same.
That.
Bro, I'll be
That's
like,
what I mean. Like I lay down,
And
but
you fall
not
asleep.
having enough sleep,
yeah.
I fall asleep.
Yeah.
Sometimes I
And your
don't.
body wants it.
Even if I
It
put
just
the
happens.
timer on, knowing that might knock out, but I sleep way faster.
But I'm never gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take a nap right now. I'm just gonna close the blinds when there's daylight
I've
outside.
done it like 5 times.
I've never done that.
Never done it
Purposely.
No, I don't close the blinds. I lay down and I'm like, alright, I'm doing 15 minute nap.
Bro, what?
Yeah,
That's
facts.
crazy.
I hate
Sometimes
like it gets me
that's
mad.
crazy. I'll just be
sleeping,
like-
though.
I hate to.
Like sleeping late, not going to sleep late, but waking up late because your day moves so much faster and you can't do shit. Like if you wake up at 11, bro, like when you wake up at 11, it's already 2. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
'cause you have
And
to
if
get
it's
ready.
already 2, if it's already 2, then by the time you wake up, you actually like, all right, I'm gonna get to do some shit. All right, and then yeah, exactly. Like it's 2, you get ready, it's 5, you go out and do something, you only got like an hour to do something, and then that's it. So that's why I can't nap and I don't wake up late. like I said, that 5 to 8 o'clock rest that I had.
Yeah.
Like for some reason, my body just doesn't like waking up that late. The latest that I will wake up is like 9, maybe 10.
Yeah.
Conditions.
That's low-key good though. That's kind of a good thing to have. I slept through my 12:30 class the other day. That was because, like, literally, I just did not set my alarm for some reason.
I love that I became a morning person.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. Jory said bloopers would be a good idea.
Oh my god, bro! Stop talking to these fucking managers, bro. Stop.
Bro, we're already doing well without your manager.
I know, yeah.
Your
Sam's gonna be like,
And that was a terrible video.
Sam's gonna be like, let me get on, man. Let me get on.
No, bro.
Let me talk about
Honestly,
women. You know, let me talk about my.
No.
I was in Miami one time. I
He's
had
got
5 at the
Sam's
same
got
time.
stories. Sam's got stories. I honestly
Life
think,
experience.
Bro, Sam
Sam
was on some
yeah.
crazy stuff, bro.
Yo, like all seriousness, and this could stay in. I don't care.
No, put this at the end, bro.
Let's go.
All seriousness, bro. I feel, bro, like on everything. I dead ass feel like Sam don't respect me, bro.
Sam,
Bro,
I'm
you
a
know you don't
honest.
respect me, bro. I hate.
Fuck it.
I'm the editor.
All right, speaking of naps, right?
Yeah.
Basically, I gotta work on that too because I come home from school at 3 o'clock, eat, go right to sleep, wake up at like 8 p.m. And it's like, dang, like I really could have did something in the 4 hours. Like I'm just sleeping just for me to sleep at like 10 p.m. Get more sleep. Like I'm oversleeping myself. You know what I'm saying? That's really eating your life.
That's not good.
That's another
Yeah.
reason time management is good because like if you don't time manage, you're definitely gonna procrastinate. You know what I'm saying? Because like, you're not gonna want to sleep late, but you're gonna have to sacrifice something if you're procrastinating with no time management. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's why you gotta get stuff done, bro. But I'm gonna work on that.
No matter how much you do it, anyway, like we're all procrastinating no matter what.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometime.
I mean, that's
It's just a matter
It's
of
in everybody.
You just have to.
nature.
It's like
Nobody's
Yeah,
perfect.
it's just a matter of how much you
That's just doing.
procrastinate.
I've found best with myself that if I just throw myself in, it's like when people be like, yo, to learn how to swim, I'm just gonna throw you in the pool.
Yeah.
I've learned that I learned best that way.
Yeah,
Facts.
I learned from experience.
I learned the hard way, bro.
yeah,
I learned the hard way.
Sometimes.
That's exactly
No,
how I
it's
learned
sometimes.
to live and do shit. Like if you just throw me in it and I do it and I figure it out, I got it.
That should
It's
be
like-
how most people learn. I think
Yeah.
that's how people
like you're not gonna
develop the
learn.
best knowledge.
You're not gonna learn dipping your toes in a pool how
Yeah.
to swim. You have to go all
Like
the way deep.
some jobs, bro. Like they'll put you in this place and they'll tell you what to do, and then you just like they'll like if it's a receptionist, they'll just relay it to the customer. And the customer's like, but it doesn't do that. Like I've literally had this experience. I've dealt with dumb people. Like you don't know what you're talking about. Figure it out. Like
Yeah.
but they don't know how because they never actually did it themselves.
Right.
It's like it's so frustrating to deal with because that's a lot of people that in the world today also.
That's one of the teachers, I'll tell you that for sure.
For sure,
Yeah,
bro.
that's the thing. Like, I find it more in older people that they don't know what to do. And
No,
I've had a feeling
I think with older people is that they don't give a fuck enough to. You get what I'm saying?
because they're already
It's
This
like
is my job. I'm just here to be.
yeah. Because it's usually
I'm sure
they're not the people who are working. If they're not older people and they're not the guys building this building, right?
Mhm.
They're people working on a ski resort reception. This is the part of my ski resort reception desk.
Mhm.
Are they really like ready
Any
or
older
supposed to
guys?
be in their life?
Dude, yo, I could. Hold on. I just want to bring this up too. Where we work, the first time I got hired at that job, I'm not gonna say the name. The first time I got hired at that job, we were. I was at Mount Laurel. We were surrounded around old heads, and then you had people that were like 24 to like 29 ish, and then everybody else was like 40 and up, right? Everybody there either had college debt that I was talking to. They were like, "Oh, dude, I'm in $80,000 in debt, $40,000 in debt. I still live with my parents. How old are you? 28. Damn. Okay.
How old? So me.
I'm like, look, y'all can have your thing, but I don't know. 28 is a little old to me. So
Set by 30.
exactly. So I started thinking. I was like, the people that I'm surrounded, but like around, are just hate to say it, but like
Just
they
fuckheads.
remind me of degenerate type of
Yeah.
people, right? And then the job that I'm working at just does not have a good surrounding in that
No,
regard.
other people.
I do
because
feel
those people don't want to work.
Yeah,
I
it's a
know.
lot of. I'm surrounded
think-
a lot of.
I will
lazy
say
people.
this though. Now I do feel a lot more motivated because a lot of the people that now in our store,
In our store,
they
it's
do
a lot of
their
motivated
lot.
people. A lot of
They do
people
a lot
have
of
left
shit.
to do things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But they do a lot of our workers do a lot of shit even outside of work. Like 3 of them are
That's
fucking
good, bro.
photographers.
Photography.
We had one guy that was an actor. We got this
Actor.
motherfucker that's acting now.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying?
Remember
We
I was
at
telling
our
you
store
about
we
that?
have influential
What's
people.
up?
Remember I was telling you about that? I was like, yo, like you really the only one that's like, cause everybody else doing something, and you're like,
Yeah.
dang.
That's what everybody
But that's good
that works
motivation,
is
though,
doing
yeah,
something.
cause like all y'all motivate.
Because like I've always had the I want to do this, I want to do
You need a
this.
drive, is what you're saying.
Huh?
You need something to.
Like a mental
you
drive.
need something.
Yeah.
something
you need the,
something,
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
It's because like I want
You need a
those
drive.
like not saying that I want people like oh tell me I can do it, like no, I don't need validation, like
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
that. But it's just more of like how can I sit there and get like it's just like I don't know, it's just like a
I felt
social
that.
thing.
It's
Like,
like,
you know what I'm
trust
saying?
me, I
it's
know
like
what you mean.
comforting, right? Like you can see the people around you can do it. You're like, I could do that too.
Yeah. So
Like,
when it comes down to that, like I don't see how somebody could wake up in the morning and not want something better than to be a GM or an owner of or a partial owner of some franchise.
Right.
Like that doesn't make sense.
Mm.
Like you telling me you had woken up in your life as a kid and said, yeah, I want to run a Best Buy, a Chick-fil-A.
you get stuck in that
No, but here's the thing.
No one says
They
that,
want to be
yeah.
a business owner, but they never did it themselves.
But
so
they
they're
never-
trying
yeah.
to take part of it.
But that's what I'm saying. Even
And you
with
go-
you
and you
having
sell
the
it for
knowledge,
small.
even with you having the knowledge now that you have, if you've been in this business for so fucking long, and
Right.
then you're telling me,
can
you're
start your
telling
own.
me exactly, you
start your
gotta,
own.
you got the knowledge to sit there and
And the
start
skills.
one, how to run one, and then on top of that, you getting fucking money from running this store. Like this store is yours now. It's not, but it's yours. So that technically gives you a lot more fucking money over anybody else that's sitting here.
He said
So
it's
how
crazy.
about you put that money towards some shit that you've always wanted to do? And I don't understand how you've been working at a job for 12, 20, 30 fucking 40 plus years and then you never wanted to step the fuck up and go do something for yourself. That don't make sense.
Yeah.
That don't make
I know
sense.
what you mean.
Yeah,
I could never be that. I could never be that.
Blooper,
Are you
bro.
gonna put your face in there? or
Blooper.
what?
say hi.
Behind the scenes.
We're dead in front of it. Hey.
I don't know about
Alright, thank y'all for joining the Shy Manhood podcast. Hope y'all enjoyed this better than the first episode. That's it.
Look for
We out.
more.
All right. Now that it's
Yesterday.
But I did feel I watched this.